I have a humanoid.
Water down there.
Really? Look at this. Look at this.
This is Saturday, August 13th. I had a picture of that track, and I'm in the area near Payson Canyon where I've been, but I'm a little ways west. Well, let's say half a mile west. And this is a grove of treelings that are on the next hillside over. This whole area has just got treelings everywhere. Everywhere you go, there's just masses and masses of these treelings. We found numerous tracks up here, though not real clear, but a few of them were. And it's been very interesting. And again, we're finding almost every treeling has got all the bark stripped off of it, with a few exceptions. Here's another structure here, another one of those stumps stuck up in the air that have been broken off, right there in front. And then this maze of who knows how many trees. Again, they all look to be aspens, and looks like all of their bark's been shredded away, going, every which way.
You have a whole bunch. See the one back there? Oh, it's out of focus. The one back there.
These trees look to be 75, 80 feet high, leaned in different directions against this tree. My guess is that the huge ones do this to advertise how big they are to other Sasquatches. I guess, I don't know. There's another structure right behind me here. A little fresher because that bottom tree has still got some green boughs on it. Right up there. The fellow I'm with has found a number of tracks here. He sees a lot more than I see. And he's pointed them out. I photographed one of them.
This long, really bulbous, not bulbous, just elongated heel. It's like a brick. And then the toes at the top. And then this one here is also pretty clear. It's maybe even, it's probably a different individual. It's a lot bigger. I think it's the left foot. Anyway, you have the heel coming down. You have to look at this one pretty closely because it's pressed into the grass and stuff, but you can see the toes. If you really look at it, you can see those toes impressed up there. It ends here. This is the side of it. The other side of it's here. Here's the toes going across, and then it comes back to all the way back here. So it's really large, very large track. Different individual than that one, I think. I can't tell exactly how long that one is, but yeah, pretty cool. This one's actually really clear. It's really clear to me, very clear.
And here's another structure. This is about a mile away from the original place we came in at. You got a whole slug of trees, and they're all leaning uphill against the other trees. You got some scattered treelings here, and off over this direction you got a bunch more. See them through the trees there. And here are 3 of these broken off snags where they've been shaken. There's 1. There's 2. Third one is right there. Yeah.
And just by default, if you're following them,
And then here's another bunch of really large lanes, including this enormous one right here. Okay, maybe that's natural, but in company with all these others that are all very large too. Not real high probability.
Follow, leave your comfort zone and walk off.
Big knot of bark.
Around, you see
There it is, and it's been stripped all off of this big tall tree here. I don't think it would fall.
completely stripped of it. Bark, a tree is completely stripped of bark.
But look at that big knot of bark hanging there.
Yeah, we
Okay, here's another
found two.
relatively small. This looks about 12 inches or so.
So either they do sidestep, like especially if it's steep and muddy, they'll sidestep up the hill. I don't know why this one's sideways. Maybe it was walking that way. I don't know. I mean, but anyway, humongous. I mean, it looks like a left foot. And my foot's right here, and it's very deep. Clearly, this thing was very heavy. I mean, it looks like it may have stepped down by you, and it's. But this is heavy. This is not a moose or an elk or a bear. This is a consistent, gigantic track, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what can explain this? This looks nothing like any animal in the forest. You know? Guys, this is my foot next to it.
Hey, here's something really funky.
Let me look at it now.
Obviously some water bottles and a tarp in there. A lot of broken branches.
All the branches are, it's just insane. It's
Here's one that almost looks like it's notched,
to the point where you're
which you'd think somebody would have to do that.
questioning if you're out here in these woods all the time, it's obvious. It's obvious. Look at that.
This didn't just happen here. And there's a place inside. I don't know if you can see it in the camera here. And here it is from this side. Now a person could build that. Why? It can't be very effective for keeping out the weather. And this is up Payson Canyon on the 13th of August. Here it is from this side. I don't know what to tell you other than the fact that it is in the company of some tree lanes, as you can see right here. And they go way up that tree. And there was a line of tree lanes along here. There's some down here. And he found it here some time back.
Just following the tree lanes, you just get these little golden nuggets, you know?
And this is awesome. I haven't seen anything like this.
But you got to talk about how it's supported.
Yeah. And the thing that's really fascinating about this is it is supported by these structures that we're seeing. These A-frame or X structures are what these walls, if you want, that's what you would call them, are leaning against. And people don't build cabins like that. They make them square. They don't do this. So you see this big one here going up there, and there's 3 right there, and these are all leaning up against it. And then they have some tarps and some plastic bottles in here. It's been dug out on the inside. In fact, did you notice that, Rio? It's been dug out in there. Have you seen that?
Oh, no, I did not.
Yeah, it's been dug out, dug down. The dirt, it's on your side near the tree. The dirt wall is straight down.
Oh yeah, definitely. And so they created a flat area. They always do that. Yeah, that's amazing. So they created a flattened area so they could chill out there.
Yeah.
And that's the theory that you have of them doing this for
Infants, when they've got an infant.
That's very interesting. What would be the purpose? Like,
Well, I
it
mean,
would run away otherwise?
well, think about it. I mean, I've got 2 grandkids that are about 2 months old. I mean, little tiny babies, as you get closer and closer to the human, they can't hang on to people like monkeys can. You know, you have to have them protected in an area where you can nurture them.
So you're not thinking toddlers, you're thinking...
I'm thinking infants that are not capable.
Is like a cradle or
Yeah, that's right, that aren't big enough to get out and move around with mama yet. Maybe they only use it for a few months, you know?
Yeah, that's a good, I mean, that's the best explanation I've heard so far. Okay, last I checked,
Those,
humans generally, nobody that I know.
I used to think that these were just for deception. Now I'm thinking maybe the kids like to play with that stuff. Maybe they don't feed their kids some juice, maybe some. Even the candy bars stuff. It's funny because sometimes I'll
notice those logs, that X structure and those leaning logs that this is built around. And that huge log across the top. It's got to be 1,000 pounds, and two of us here could not lift that up there. There's been no equipment up here, nothing to build this. And then why would you build it? I mean, it's a one step beyond just a pile of junk. But it is some sort of shelter.
little milk cartons and stuff and skulls of deer, deer with
All these trees, you know, all these bright trees going.
But you can't tell they're up in the air like that, right?
Oh, and you can't see that they're vertical or anything.
Yeah.
You just see a flat, crisscross trees.
Well, Rio calls this satellite wallow, and this, look at all these lanes here. Awesome, all through here. All through here. Look at all those.
They've gotten a bundle of barbed wire, knotted it up, and set it on the ground here. And I don't know why. That was in the last wallow too.
Jeez, look at this.
I can grab that.
Okay, I'll let you turn it off.
They're all
And just more incredible maze of tree lanes. Almost every leaning tree is stripped of bark.
there's another intersection here. This area. And then
And here's some more. Sound like a broken record. But when we get off over in the heavy aspens over there, all the down timber pretty well disappears. You find these tree lanes in the sections of pine that are adjacent to the aspens. And it seems like, again, most of these leaning trees are aspens, but some of them are pines. But almost all of them, the leaning trees anyway, have got the bark stripped away. And here I am, kind of inside a grove of tree lanes. Again, too many. There's an X. Too many to count or describe. But we march out to this area, and then these down trees and tree lanes just simply stop.
bedding area below it. And then if you come this way, if you come over here, we're going to kind of go in what I call the back door. All around it's marsh with pretty significant tree structures, but you come in here.
No.
I think this is the entrance that they use. You know? So, come on over here. I love this place. thought we were in the wrong spot. That's why we went all the way around. Right. So look at the behind you here.
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
It's beautiful, huh?
Yeah.
It's incredible. Actually, I think there's a little bit more than last time. A lot of, like you were saying, the pressure weaves and stuff. Like this little thin one, it would roll down, except where it's, you know, pinned down. Anyway.
And this pinned that down.
Yeah.
I mean, look how many times this log right here is pinned down. Over underneath that one, over that, comes over here, and then under there on the bottom.
What's holding this big one up? And that's what I don't get. It's probably stuffed into the.
Yeah.
Is this dry bark wallow?
This is. Okay, so we have. If you come over here from where we are and we look at this. But I mean, just count the number of teepees here.
You can't count them. There's too many. And look how this bark is stripped off. That one right there, right in front of you, standing straight up. Look at the bark hanging off of it there.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's incredible, man. Oh. That one may be new. This gigantic one may be new. I didn't notice that one stuffed into the top of the tree either.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Looks like there's some potential footprints here, but I'm not seeing. There's a teepee here. And then there's another teepee right there.
And you notice again, we're in a grove of pines surrounded by aspens, and most of these are aspens shoved up in these trees.
That's exactly right. Yeah. The aspens that are here, I think there's maybe a few that grew here, like this one.
Yeah.
But it's mostly a pine grove. There we go. There's a gigantically long Sasquatch that stays here, and he's very thin. His track, I don't know if this is his tracks, I'm just saying. It's a really long, it's like 20 inches, and it's thin. So I'm thinking it's a male that's maturing. Probably a juvenile. This is why it's called dry bark wallow.
You get the bark.
Yeah, just hanging there. And that was, we before we did an analysis on this, it could not have fallen into that position because it would have broken off the branches above it. It was only stuffed. It was stuffed. There's no other explanation for it, and that bark was hung there.
Yeah.
It's just interesting. This, what we're standing on, this is kind of like it's almost like a rug, a living room rug or something, you know? It's just interesting. They're going perpendicular to each other. And then here, there's just a lot of stuff there. The reason I love this wallow is because it's a little bit unique in the sense that I think that there's multiple bedding areas in here. Whereas most of the wallows that I see kind of seem like a reminiscent of a lounge or a living room or just a sit-down spot, hang out. I think this one is more reminiscent of like maybe a house, you know, like maybe some sort of home. But that's just how I interpret it. I don't know. But this is my favorite structure in the wallow here. Is all these stuffed up into there at a common point. It's the largest structure. And there's that big one over there. A lot of these are just several trees just put in here. That's cool. It's cool. And it just gets better as we go along. This is a teepee here. Here's a new track that I didn't see before. Look at this. Can you see that? See how thin it is? It's pretty thin, but it's extremely long. That big track. And then it's a weird footprint, but it's pretty consistent in here.
This tree right here, it's parallel to the ground.
Yeah.
The bark has been hung over it.
That's why it's called dry bark.
Ah.
Yeah. This is we're kind of inside another area here, another teepee area. We got the long one. We got this guy again. There's this track right here. It's right up here. And this one, see, it's really long. Again, it's thin, and you can kind of see the toes on this one. And move this leaf. Oh well, I don't want to mess it up anymore. Anyway, you can kind of see the toes up here, but you can see the bunion, his foot coming down.
We're up here in this wallow in Payson, and we found this old growth tree that is just awesome. I mean, whoa.
It's rare for Utah.
Yeah, you don't find trees like this in Utah very much. This thing is huge. And right near this area of all these enormous, this great big batch of tree lanes.
I'm going to do a knock. Or a loud one.
The torque, the pressure.
Which one?
This big long one here?
The big one.
Yeah, it didn't fall there because it would have fallen down. It's not caught on anything.
Yeah, you're right. That. Oh, and look at the arch. Holy cow, I missed that. Look at that arch. Oh, that's cool. I wish I had my camera still. My camera died, but see that?
Yeah, I got a battery charge.
Oh yeah.
I would like. Can I use it?
Yeah, that's why I told you I had it.
Okay.
Yeah, here's a lean structure and no living tree that they're leaned against.
Not even all of these were carried here. There's not a single one that has its trunk connected.
And is that a bedding area in the middle of it under there? What do you think?
Could be. It could be. Huh. I don't know. There's a pile of sticks. Definitely could be. Did I just hear a wood knock?
There's something down below us, yeah, but I don't know if that's the people at the lake or...
Yeah.
And here's another shattered, one of these stumps,
Yeah.
8-10 feet up,
Yeah.
shattered.
There's another thing. There's a fence here, right?
I love this. I love this one. This is a good structure. How someone would do this. It's like a roller coaster. I like this because, yeah, it seems like this would fall over. There's only one tree holding this big one up, and that's this guy that's zipping off that way. That's incredible.
But see, the weight of this big one here is pressuring this one, which is also pinning the one that's holding
Yeah.
that tree.
What's the responsibility of this tree? That's to pin the big pine.
Big pine.
Down. Again, it's, oh my gosh, and it's holding this big one up. Wow. That is so genius. I couldn't, how, you'd have to plan this out, don't you think? You'd have to plan it, don't you think?
Well, you should go home and try to make this thing out of popsicle sticks.
Man.
You know? I don't think I could do it.
Or maybe like chopsticks or something.
Yeah, so, well, yeah, something longer, but you know,
Get them wet.
I don't know what you'd have to do. Yeah, you'd have to eat something like chopsticks, wet, but they'd have to be able to bend, and but they'd have to have enough weight on them that they could hold each other in place.
I love this structure. This is unique because there's no living tree.
Incredibly unique. And see this one,
There's no original support.
actually this one did originate right here.
Yeah, but it's broken right
Yeah, I know.
right at the stump.
All the others appear to be moved here, but that one was there originally.
I love this. No, I don't.
All right, here's a whole bunch of lanes right off the trail up to the wallow we're just returning from. And this is the main trail. Now we're not going to go in there because we're going to head back now, but there's just a bunch of stuff. We want to come back up here and see what's here on another day.